What is an eviction notice? An eviction notice, or a notice to quit, is a letter that is sent by a landlord to a tenant, notifying them that they should either take a certain action or vacate the rented premises. Eviction notice is required by the majority of states, but some of them enable the landlord to start the eviction action immediately after the breach of lease, even without sending an advance notice. Eviction notice can be of two types. Conditional, where a tenant is given time to remedy the breach or vacate, and unconditional, when a landlord terminates the lease without any alternative options for a tenant. When might an eviction notice be needed? These are the most common reasons to send a notice to quit. Not paying rent on time. Violating other terms of lease, for example, keeping a pet in a no-pet property or repetitive loud behavior. Overstaying after the lease was terminated by a notice of early termination or the date set by the contract. Taking illegal action such as drug dealing or human trafficking. How is the eviction process initiated? First, a landlord should find an appropriate violation clause in the contract and relevant provision in their state's laws that lets them start an eviction process. A landlord can send a conditional notice giving the tenant time to remedy the violation, which cannot be less than the period set by local laws, or an unconditional notice if it is allowed by their state. It should be sent hand-delivered or sent via certified mail. Please note that in some states, the tenant may be required to sign a receipt for the notice to quit or an affidavit of delivery. After that, the landlord should wait a specified amount of time. If the breach is not remedied within the given time frame, they can lawfully terminate the contract. Or, if the notice is unconditional and the lease is terminated immediately, the landlord should wait till the tenant leaves the premises, typically 7 days after receiving the letter. If the tenant fails to vacate the premises after the termination, the landlord can turn to the respective court. It will issue a writ of execution or similar order that will help the landlord remove the tenant with the help of the local sheriff or constable. What should an eviction notice include? Information about the tenant and landlord. Reason for sending the notice. Date by which the tenant should take or stop a certain action. Consequences of non-compliance. Date, method of notice delivery, and the landlord's signature in the form of certificate of service attached to the notice. If you need a document written according to all requirements of your state, use our step-by-step document builder.